Friday.
Yeah.
I'll be like, yeah. Hey, hey, everybody. It's Tisha and it's Nate, and pardon our delay. We're a little bit going crazy today on Casual Convo Friday. Tech issues, always, right, Nate? Like I had me on my phone, I had me on the computer, then the computer crashed.
I'm just saying, I don't ever seem to have any issues, but the rest of the world does. I'm just throwing that out there.
You know, you're just one of those lucky souls that just doesn't have these computer tech problems that all of us seem to face, or I guess I seem to face. I seem to have these computer tech problems. I was just saying to Nate that I have anxiety all the time when we go live because it's kind of a, will I make it? Will we get through this next 30 minutes without it botching? But of course, today still had a little bit of a problem. Oh, yes. Well, if you are tuning in live, thank you so much for checking in with us. Hi, Karen. I know she's on there. Ellie. I love that my daughter is always on. You guys know that. She always gives us all these little hearts on YouTube. But if you are tuning in, this is really going to be a fly by the seat of our pants. We had a guest. It doesn't look like he's able to make it with us. No problem. Nate and I are really good at just entertaining all of you.
I can talk to the stop sign. What are you talking about?
So Nate and I decided today to just have some fun with this. And I've had him in the hot seat in the past. And he's like, well, today you get to be in the hot seat. So Ellie just writing, go mom. All right. Any question, Nate, bring it. I will answer with complete and utter honesty.
All right. You know what? I actually got a good one for you that kind of pertains to me, right? So
okay.
Over the years, I've built people's profiles up. I've helped them with their marketing. I've helped them grow their company. I mean, I know how to do it, right? The big thing that I do, and I'm sure the reason why I've had to, and I know for the reason why I've had to help people and the reason you've had to help people is because doing it for yourself versus doing it for someone else is two different things, right? Like that's always a struggle, right? Like people can go to my stuff all the time and just see like, you know, does this guy really practice what he preaches? But the thing is like I'm always just so caught up in working for everybody else. Let's talk about how you don't do that because you're the polar opposite, right? And so let's talk about how you manage to do that, even though you actually still help people manage their marketing and stuff.
Mm-hmm. So are you saying that I practice what I preach, or how do I do that? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
let's hear how the great Tisha does it.
I'm going to just say this. I got in this little altercation on Facebook with someone the other day because we were talking about the difference between coaches and mentors. And I'm not saying anything bad about coaches. I love coaches. I've had coaches. But the difference I feel is that a mentor is someone that really does take your hand and walks with you side by side, and they get you to move into action, but also help you to implement those things. And I'm very big into, because I've done this, Nate, I'm not just, hey, I've done it, or, you know, I just, you know, woke up and wanted to be a mentor. I've actually gone through several experiences of my own, which can help me help the next person. So I always say the best type of mentor is someone who's been through the ropes, they've done it themselves, all, you know, they know all of these struggles that come with it. They have the resources in place and they can instill that to you. So that's what I'm saying is I don't want to be the, yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'd love to help you. It's no, I've been there. I know what it takes and I'm going to help you with this and we're going to get there together. So that's my thing. But I had to go through a lot of that. It's just like I was telling a client that's walking right past me right now in my co-working space. Like, people come to me for event consulting. Why? Because I've planned hundreds of events, and from little 10-person events to, you know, hundreds of people events. Like, I've had to take it from concept to completion. I couldn't do that had I not had the experience of doing that first.
No, I totally agree. I mean, that's basically how I do it. So with that, you're talking about live event consulting and stuff. What are the key points that you mentor your mentees about when doing, you know, live events and stuff? Like, what's the things that you really like? Hey, you know, it's kind of like doing live videos here. Like, all right, get past your inhibitions, obviously, but like, you know, talk about how you help them organize it, how you help them plan it, and things like that.
How I help them plan it. Well, first of all, we always have to have, well, what is it you want to do, right? And I always say that if you're going to plan something, do something that is fun for you. Do something that's completely crazy out of the box that people are like, yeah, that's the event that I want to go to because it's so different. I mean, there's so many conferences, speaking events, there's so many things, but can you add some element to your event that gets people going, that's different and that's why I want to go to it. So for instance, like, you know, Nate, we've talked about this. I host an event here in the Phoenix area called Social Connect. And when I said, I don't want business cards, I shred business cards, don't bring them. I really want people to connect on a more personal level, a human to human interaction. People thought I was crazy, 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 crazy. But that's what I'm saying is figure out like what's important to you, what matters to you, and start to incorporate those elements into the events that you want to plan or the programs or whatever it is you're trying to create. It can't be cookie cutter. No cookie cutter stuff here.
No cookie cutter?
No cookie. No, 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 no.
I like mass production.
Well, okay, so figure out what you do first, then mass produce it if you want. But no, 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 no.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. So you know, when you're doing that, right? Because I mean, you know, live events can definitely spawn a lot of growth in your business, or you know, in your calls, if that's the case that you're looking to do, you know, whatever the case may be. Have you found that? Have you found that like events that like have several people involved work best, or you know, like going up one at a time, or do you think like the panels work a little better, or you know, do you like more like the TED Talk feel? Like, what have you found that's worked the best for you and other people that you've worked with?
You know, I think that for me, I personally like that panel feel because you get to hear from different perspectives, but it really is dependent upon what you're trying to bring to the table, you know, because there are so many events that they have a keynote speaker and they have breakout sessions and so on. So it really matters on what are you trying to accomplish with your event. It's kind of going back to the why. I always say figure out your what, figure out your why, and then back it up with the how. Who needs to be involved in that? Sometimes, Nate, you know, more hands in the cookie jar, a lot more work.
Yeah.
If you can streamline it, you can have really, really good people coming to your event, involved in your event. It makes a world of difference. I've had to fire volunteers before, and that's sad. That's sad. You know, but that happens. That happens.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just saying, like, you know, working with a whole bunch of people is not always the best scenario as well.
No, not at all. But I mean, I do like I like the panel thing. Sometimes it backfires on you. That's why I was asking you. But like, I like the panel because it's not so much you're just sitting there listening to someone talk and do a presentation. You know, it's more. I've always liked it's kind of why I like doing live videos over like creating content and putting it out. I'd rather just do live videos all the time, to be quite honest, because I like to just chat, right? Like I like people to ask questions because then I don't feel like it's as boring when I'm getting to talk to them and have a conversation, because that engages them more. It's not me thinking, all right, what am I going to talk about today that will get people to listen for, you know, 10 minutes or whatever the case may be. So, but that's just me personally. I mean, you know, that's just whatever. But so when you're doing these events, right, how do you generally, what are the tools and platforms that you found work best for you in terms of not just having the audience that's right there, but like using the online audience, right? Like, do you use tools to do, you know, live events and stream them online, things like that? Like, how do you generally work your events?
Well, my events, they are live, you know, they're in-person events. They're tied definitely to building a community here in the Phoenix area. But given that we're in COVID, you know, everything has gone virtual.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been doing a lot of virtual events too, not necessarily me hosting them, but being a part of other people's events. And honestly, I mean, a simple tool, just using Zoom works well. Or like this, you guys know we use StreamYard. Hi, Tandra, saying hi to some people on LinkedIn that are joining us. So it doesn't have to be complicated. The other thing too is you can take your live event and have it automated through some different tools as well. If you're just trying to be more efficient, which I know you're a big, you know, that you're a big component of, that be more efficient of your time. Like, do you want to give the same talk 100 times over, or do you want to record that sucker once and let it go? Mm-hmm. So, you know, I think technology plays such a big part in making sure that your audience, your event reaches the right audience, and not just, your audience in the community that you're in. So absolutely, I think that live streaming events is a great opportunity. I think that, just even showing Facebook Live, like having someone capture that for you while you're at the event, really gets people excited about, why wasn't I there? Maybe I should go for the next time. Like, it starts to promote your event even before you have it again.
No,
Yeah.
I can totally agree with that. I know we've been helping a few clients utilize Microsoft Teams live events for their stuff, because we've been transitioning Teams in with Microsoft 365, and we just showed them, like, hey, you don't have to go get more software, like you can do them from here. So that's been fun. Let's see, what else do I want to ask you today? Whew,
And we can get
I
off the
rattled off all
event topic, Nate. You can ask me anything.
Well, you know what? Let's talk about something else. We were talking about right before we come on about unplugging, that type of stuff, right? And I told you, like, me and my wife, we've been going 100 miles an hour with our hair on fire the past couple of years. But you managed to take your family and go unplug for a week or so or whatever. Let's talk about that. Like, let's talk about how important that is for you to do with your family and stuff, and the benefits of it. Obviously, I think everybody can kind of feel the same thing. Either they do it or they haven't done it in a while, and so they need to. So let's just chat about that.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so real quick, we have planned so many trips this year that have all gotten canceled. I think we were trying to jump on the cheapest airfare ride. So we were actually supposed to be in Chicago at the end of May doing a Spartan race, and that was
Mm-hmm.
something my husband booked because now he's like gung ho about Spartan runs and wants to do these all over the country, which is awesome. Something that we can do together. Got canceled. We were supposed
Mm-hmm.
to be in Florida last week, got canceled because we're not going to another hotspot state. The fear of going there, one of us getting COVID and having to stay there was in the back of our heads, of course. And so we ended up going 2 hours north. So I live in Arizona. Nate, of course, lives in Georgia. And even just those little road trips that you can take just to unwind, even if it's just a day trip, an overnight trip, really does the body good. We ended up
Mm-hmm.
going up north and took the kids with us, and it's like you don't even know what's in your own backyard, right? Like here, we're surrounded by beautiful Red Rock Mountains. We're surrounded by wine country and lakes and rivers, and it was awesome. So I don't know if you saw this, Nate, but I posted it on my LinkedIn and a couple of different other platforms. But we did this really great hike called Devil's Bridge. And it's me and my family, and we're standing on top of this. It was like a rock bridge, just no railing. Like if you
Mm-hmm.
were doing jumping jacks, you would have fallen off that bridge and down into the canyon. Um, and I love that my family and I got to do that together. We were unplugged. You don't have your phone's not working. We were able to take some great photos up on that bridge. But those are memories that you're making with your family too. And there is something to be said of just unplugging, resetting, recharging, and getting back to it. I think, like you were saying, your hair is on fire. My hair is on
Mm-hmm.
fire, not literally, but our hair is on fire. And
I
when you're
don't know.
feeling
Don't you
that,
feel the singe up there?
it doesn't look singed, no. But I think that when you're experiencing that, where you're like, I'm suffering burnout, I just don't know, like it's taking a lot for me to get this done. I think your body is innately telling you, hey, you have to slow it down a little. Like you are going to suffer burnout, and you really need to take a break. And I don't care if you go somewhere or if you literally just tell people, I'm off the grid, don't talk to me. And that's pretty much what I do. I put my phone on airplane mode when I get to places, because I'm like, nobody needs to contact me. Like, I'm here, my family's here. If anyone's going to contact me, they can wait. I set the whole, auto response on my email, and I do let people know, like on social media, I'm like, I'm out. Bye
Mm-hmm.
bye. See you later.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you need that. You so need that. Hi to Derek Wadley joining us, Nate. Derek was my grant recipient back in 2018 with the American Bean out of
Okay.
North Carolina. So great guy to know. But you need that. Shoot, I'm going to send you on vacation. You and I don't get to do this next week. Go on vacation, Nate. Go take your son and your wife and just go have some time and just do nothing. I don't care if you just sit in that little pool that you have. Do nothing.
Don't tempt me. I'll sit in my pool. I mean, we're working on picking a time that's good for doing that. So I mean, we will at some point. It won't be next week, but no, yeah, I totally agree with you. I mean, there's days where I'll just like in the middle of the day, I'll just shut my phone off,
Yes.
and then I'll just I'll get 100 messages the next morning and be like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I was supposed to. I'll be honest with you. I was supposed to film videos yesterday, and like I was supposed to meet our video people at 11 a.m. And we had some meetings in the morning, and then it just started with like people that needed things taken care of and stuff, and I was just like, shut that.
Yes. Shut that down. Shut it down.
People said, "Look, we'll just film 3 days straight next week." I'm done today.
So that, like, speaking of Derek, I have my Startup Business Grant. There is a deadline, September 10th. And I'm at this point where I'm like, I've got to get a press release out. I've got to get this done. I've got to go get people to apply for it. And then I'm like, who the hell cares? Like, people are going to find about it. I'm going to post it. I'm not going to stress about this.
Yeah.
And what's happened is I started getting involved in a couple of Facebook groups, and now I have global applicants all around the world applying for this little grant that I'm giving. And it is fantastic. But I think too, we overthink things, right? We overthink things quite a bit. So unplugging, great thing. It's a great way to slow down, to speed up, to reset, and get your mind straight. Because when you feel that, when you're like, I don't want to do this, I think your mind is really telling you, then don't do it right now. It's not the right time for you to do right now. Like, take a break, go sit in your pool, with your dog. I only say that because I know Nate has a dog. I have three dogs, and they love swimming with us. So, it's little things. So I'm just going to say, I was doing a video today, and I'll post it later for my Convo and my Camry, Nate. And I started watching Schitt's Creek. I don't know if you've seen that. With Eugene Levy. And I'm only into like the first 1 or 2 episodes. And it is just hilarious. So I don't know if any of you guys that are watching, but like, I think it's the 3rd or 4th episode where they show the sign of Schitt's Creek. Have you seen it, Nate? Do you know what I'm talking about? Okay.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Where Eugene Levy's like, do you not see what's wrong with the sign? And they're like, no, nothing's wrong. And then he goes and puts that other sign that says it's not his sister. Oh my gosh. Like, I'm dying. But I'm talking about how that to me is an unplug. That to me is go watch some stupid TV, and just take care of you. Like, laugh a little, smile, like watch something so silly, and then get back to it. So yeah, Gary's saying I watched. Yes, funny. Like, I'm only in the 1st season. Don't ruin it for me. But I'm just saying that your time is so precious, and spend it wisely.
I try to do like like a 10 or 15 minute break, every couple of hours or whatever. And the past couple of days, my 2 breaks have been this. It has been someone turned me on to the reviews on Amazon for Haribo's gummy bears.
What?
Yeah, go read them. Just type in Haribo's gummy bears on Amazon.com and go read the reviews. There's so many of them, you won't get through all of them, but just skim through and you'll start seeing them and you'll know exactly the ones you need to read. And then the other thing is I think it was on. I forget who posted it, but I mean, there's tons of them. It's dads that didn't want pets.
Oh, okay.
And it's just all it is just images and posts, like Twitter posts and stuff like that, of like dads, kids talking about their dad didn't want this dog, right? And then all of a sudden it's a picture of the dad holding the kiddie pool on top of the car because he didn't have a truck and he's driving away from the store with it, and it shows the dog. Just stuff like that, or no dogs in the house and it's the dad and the dog cuddled up on the bed. I just found those to be, pretty dang funny, to be honest with you. Like
So
they,
that's how you unplug. Are you
yeah,
saying
that's
that,
how
Nate?
I
Like that's how
unplug.
you just release the Nate mind
Yeah,
and
and I mean, it was a lot easier before. We used to go to a local college here, and I'd take the dog for a walk 3 times a day. We'd go walk around a field over there, go hiking in the woods or whatever. The campus is shut down, so now we just have our park, and so that's kind of gotten a little boring. But me and him still go for a walk twice a day. Right in the
yeah.
middle of the day, in the morning, and then sometimes we'll go for a third one in the afternoon when my wife gets off. That's always fun. I
Yeah.
go walk him around. But yeah, I mean, you got to do little things here and there. You'll get burnout. Especially I notice for us with everybody working from home, they're paying more attention to things that they don't like, and so like they tend to call us with like little things that they would just normally not even pay attention to.
Mm,
Like
mhm.
my cloud stuff is the notifications are slow or whatever, things like that. And so, obviously we'll fix it because that's what we're supposed to do. But I'm just saying, like, now it's more of they're noticing everything.
Yeah.
Before it was just like, okay, it happened one time, I won't worry about it. But now it's like as soon as something happens, it's hit us up on team. So, but we've been making sure to take care of everybody. It's just funny to watch the difference between their workloads are less, so they're making our workloads more.
Oh, so funny. You know, but it's we have the time to figure those things out too.
Mm-hmm. Oh
Like
yeah.
I can't tell you, I'm sure everybody is wanting to renovate their house because they're in their house so much. I've talked to a
Have you
lot of
seen Home
people who
Depot? Home Depot's not hurting for business.
no, Home Depot is not hurting for business, for dang sure. But
No.
what I'm saying is a lot of people are, I mean, we're stuck in our houses, so why not create your own paradise in your own house? I mean, I know a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people that are building pools right now. There's 4 of them going on in my block.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like make your house your home. And if that's where you've got to stay, make sure you enjoy it.
Hello, Tisha Heaven.
I know. Hey, Tisha, good to see you.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with you. I mean, it's just it's actually been a good thing though. Is I don't want to sound like I'm complaining. It's actually been a good thing because people are finally starting to see why we would make suggestions like, hey, we need to fix this. It's going to be a little headache
Right.
for you, but we need to fix this for you. And so we've actually been able to do those types of things for our clients and stuff. And so they've been reaping the benefits of it, or a lot of them have finally pulled the trigger on letting us move them to Microsoft 365, stuff like that.
Hmm.
Not huge things, but it's little things that they've always had these hangups about because they were working so much. But now
Yeah.
that they got a little bit of downtime, they're like, hey, if you need to take me offline for an hour, yeah, I'm cool with that. I'll go have a beer or whatever, and they just let us work. So it's been really good. It really has. It's just we have to obviously take a break and step back for a minute, but no, I noticed that Home Depot's lines have never been this busy. To be quite honest with you.
Nate, are you working on any home projects
Oh
that
yeah,
you,
yeah.
yeah, always? Yeah.
We've added an addition to our deck. Our deck has grown every seems like it grows every year. It's basically almost as big as our house now.
Well, it shows that you like being outside, which
Oh
is good.
yeah, and
Yeah.
and then like we put a fire pit on the lower piece of it, and I built a half octagon deck. My wife's been staining that, and she's been stripping down and restaining our old patio furniture that we got from
Good.
IKEA because it's wood, and we're just like, well, let's just change the color. So
Yeah.
yeah, we've been doing that. We're trying to grow some zoysia grass in the front yard.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
mean, that's kind of our unplugged thing. To be quite honest with you, I mean, it's not vacationing, but like it's us catching up on things that have been, put on the back burner here for the past little while.
So just what you said, and for everybody watching, this is a chance for you to get caught up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly what you said. Like we didn't have the time before. Now we have the time. Now we're noticing things in our house that need to get done, or we're noticing that we need to spend time with the people that we love and that are around us. And for most of us, that's our kids. So like we need to
Mm-hmm.
spend more time with them. So um, it's been a good thing. Definitely a good thing. My kids are getting ready to go back to school next week to digital school. And so I'm having to shift my time even more to be available for them as they start this next year of their life. Like It's always a constant shift. You know that, never a dull moment.
Oh yeah. I'll be honest with you. I was thinking about going and renting out a bunch of space and setting up some desks and just being a babysitter for people to sit there and take their classes online.
You know, Nate, that is not a bad idea.
Just throwing
My
it out there.
yeah, hey, I think it's brilliant. I think it's brilliant, you know, because think of it this way too. It's why, you know, it's why I'm doing the whole startup business grant too, because how many people do you know that are going to be like, you know what? This is the year. No more excuses. I'm doing it. When I posted the grant in this business group on Facebook, tons and tons of people are responding like, this is the year. And I was like, this is your year.
Oh,
you know, get that damn idea out of your head and start moving on it because time's wasting, you know? So, I mean, I may even steal that idea of yours. I'm like,
go for it. By all means.
Tish's student daycare.
Yeah. Anybody take it and run with it. I was just sitting there, I was thinking, I was like, you know, like if it was all the little kids, that would be a stretch for me, you know, but like get those like 10 to like 15-year-olds or something and just put them in a room, set up the desk, give them the best internet, let them put their headphones on and do their schoolwork, you know, and everything. And then you just say, hey, here's my fee for the week, $7,500 a kid or something like that. Not a bad payday.
Was that a weekly fee? $7,500 for the week.
Yeah.
Come on, sit on the deck. Sit on the deck.
Saying, like, you know, most daycare, like everybody I know is paying like $400 to $500 a month for daycare anyway. So that's about $7,500 a week, depending on, you know, how you look at it. But so I'm just saying.
Okay. I have to clarify for our listeners. 75 to 100 a week or 7,500 a week?
No, 75 to 100.
That's what I was saying. I'm like, 7,500 a week. Like, where'd you get that number?
No. 75 to 100. I talk fast, Tish. I talk fast.
I'm catching that. That's why I needed to clarify for our listeners here, like what your price point is.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, like, look, if you keep it simple math, $100 a kid per week, 20 kids, that's $2,000 a month. That's $2,000 a week.
Hey, you know what? People watching, I think that is a brilliant idea. And hi, Robert Pattison. Thank you for joining us too off LinkedIn. Hey, there you go. Nate, you just came up with a brilliant idea. I think all of us need to start that. If you have the means and you have the space, why not? Why not help those kids out? Because I mean, think about it. How many parents need to go back to work? And this is why I always say, if you have the means, you've got to pay that forward. If you have that, then do it. That seems simple enough to me.
I'm willing to bet that there's plenty of real estate companies out there with places that need to be rented, and you can probably get that rent real cheap right now. And just
I bet.
Look, we'll do a 6-month introductory, you know, rate, and as I grow and get going, we can look at expanding or whatever. But just, you know, anything to help them get stuff that's just sitting there empty off the books, they'll be willing to make deals.
Oh yeah. There you go, guys. You heard it first, right here on Casual Convo Friday.
You could market for free on Facebook. Look, there's all those yard sale groups and school groups and things like that on Facebook in your area. Just get in there and start saying, "Hey, look, I'm setting this up. I'll make sure that they're doing their lessons. I'll, you know, make sure that their computer program's working, help them through any type of support they need, whatever. They sit here, they learn. It's better than them sitting at home trying to do it." Just throwing it out there.
There you go. There you go. Brilliant tip, Nate. Thanks for sharing.
Everybody's going to do it now.
All right, Nate, we've got a couple more minutes. You want to fire one at me again? Question?
Yeah, I got a question for you. So, when you're getting ready to do your live events, I want to go back to live events real quick. I had another question pop up.
Yeah, of course.
How do you organize your talking points, right? Because I know I have a problem rambling. Like anytime I do videos or I'm talking to people, I get to yeah, just like right now, right? So talk to us about how you structure your talking points. How do you get it into a rhythm that you can do and people will pay more attention to?
Well, again, it depends on the event that you're hosting, but I'm going to just bring it back to like the panel that I host, Success Over Struggle. I know I have 30 minutes. I have 30 minutes total. And so when you look at the time that you have, you being the host or you
Mm-hmm.
planning the event, you need to be very, timeline oriented because you can't keep people there for longer that you tell them. That's just bad. It's just inconsiderate too. So, I mean, I know that there are a lot of our ramblers out there, but it's very similar to if you're going to be creating a speech, if you're going to be talking or giving a keynote or a presentation, you still have to figure out like how much content do I need, but also I say cut it short a little bit so that you can have that Q&A for, like you said, I'm very much like you. I love conversation. I love for it to be more engaging. So I don't want to stand up there and talk for the whole hour. I want to
Mm-hmm.
talk for maybe about 40, 45 minutes and then open it up to Q&A or even some stories because there's always going to be questions. And if people haven't given you questions, you can come up with questions based on what other people have asked you in the past. Like, hey, I did this talk. Kari Green is here. Awesome. I did a speech for his Bank of the West is where he's at. And I purposely did that. I was like, I know people are going to have questions. We're going to cut this and I'm going to just be open and honest. Ask me anything,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like that's such a better use of time versus I'm just going to keep talking and talking and maybe you're listening and maybe you've already zoned out. So any live event, whether you're the host or you're the speaker or whatever it is that you're doing, just be cognizant of the time that you're putting, that you're using when you're in front of an audience. And yeah, I always say listen more than you speak, and that's
Mm-hmm.
also a good thing too, just to be able to answer questions that people have because they probably already have those same questions.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah.
Well, Tisha, we've hit our half-hour mark. You got anything else to do?
No, but I want to just give a shout out. So, James Rutz, this is an amazing gentleman. He just said, wow, an entrepreneurial counseling session right before our eyes. James and I had a great conversation yesterday. He's out of Seattle and he's going back for his doctorate right now. Like, amazing, amazing man. Yes. So, take the time to meet the people that you're connected to. Nate and I love this. This is why we started Casual Convo Friday, to get to know just people watching or having other people jump into our hot seat with us, just so we can get to know them better and keep them connected and so on. So really great having everybody join us live for this session, and apologize our guest wasn't able to make it. But hey, I think you guys got some entertainment. I mean, Schitt's Creek and business ideas. What did you call it? Harbros gummy bears.
Yeah, Hairbo's gummy bears. You gotta look it up. I'm telling you.
Okay, I have to look it up. Okay, so my kids love those gummy bears. Am I going to
Uh-huh.
find things that, they shouldn't be eating them for some reason? Or is that why you're like shaking your head?
No, it is hilarious, funny content. Trust me. Trust me.
Yeah,
Just trust me.
yeah.
But no, I used to carry those gummy bears around on patrol when I was in Afghanistan. To be quite honest with you, I'd throw
Uh,
a 5 pound bag in those things, and you just give that little bit of sugar.
they're addicting. They're addicting. So James sitting here saying, "Oh, you're making me blush." Hey, that's why we
Mhm.
love calling you guys out. If you're joining us live, we just really appreciate that. Kari here. So he's saying, "I would charge a minimum of $300 a week per child. Any kids who misbehave, their parents would be assessed an additional $50 per incident."
Now, to be fair, my pricing point is for Georgia. Georgia tends to be a little bit lower than everybody else in terms of charging stuff. Just FYI, folks. Just FYI. So,
Yeah, if we were in like, Manhattan, it would be $7,500 a week. I'm
I
just kidding.
mean,
Yes. All right. Okay. So Derek says it's mainly the SF. I don't know what that means, Derek. Do you know what that means, Nate?
I got a clue.
SF.
Derek,
I
you're
don't
gonna
know.
have to
I
explain.
think I think SF is like San Francisco, but that could just be me. Well, I know that we are out of time. Thank you guys for joining us live today. We are coming back next week. Jason Tracy with Roar Consulting is scheduled to be our hot seat guest. So excited. This guy rocks. Just really adore him. So make sure you tune in. He's got a lot of words of wisdom to share as well. Nate, always such a great pleasure. Thank you for bearing with me in my tech issues once again. It's
That's
becoming
okay.
the norm.
It's okay. We'll get you through.
Hey, I don't know if I ever told you, it was my battery that died for my Surface Pro. So I had to go buy a new one.
Wow.
Yes, it just cut me out completely. Yes, so that happens. But I'm so glad that it ended, like it was at the very end of our conversation and not the beginning, because I would have missed David's. Yeah, so good thing, good thing. Oh, okay. So he says sugar-free Haribo.
So, don't pay attention if it's got sugar in it, man. It's all a mind thing. It's a placebo. Don't ruin my dream for me. All right, all right. That's just like when people would tell me, Fanta and root beer didn't have caffeine. I just want to have my little dream.
Yes.
I like the flavor. I can trick my body into doing what it needs to. It's fine.
I have to say that. So sugar-free, I'm like San Francisco. Is that what that means, Derek? No, sugar-free. Okay, yeah. I'm not a big sugar-free person either. Like you're right. Like you're tricking yourself. You might as well just have the real thing and do it in moderation. That's just my personal opinion. But, well, good Friday to everybody. Have a fantastic weekend. We'll see you guys back next week with our guest Jason Tracy. And Nate, always a pleasure. Go unplug. Have a great time with your son, your dog, your wife, all of that on the deck.
Yeah.
And we'll see you. We'll see you next week.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.